is because Giants fans and Giants media wanted to be Buffalo Light. That's why they're here. So 3 years later, when the owner even openly admitted that the team is worse now than it was when he took the job, don't bitch because he kept them employed. All right, look. Shable, Dane, they're coming back. Now, because the team was so bad, and I had some mental health, emotional health, and spiritual battles that I've been dealing with the past couple months, I decided to only do a video once a week. So I haven't really given my opinion on a lot of the things that have been going on with the team. But, you know, the Steelers, okay? The Steelers have had 3 coaches since the 70s. Like since the Steelers have been in existence, they had Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now they have Mike Tomlin. They've had 3 coaches, okay? 3 coaches. When you look at an originator like John Mara is an OG, okay? He's one of the founding families of football, right up there with the Rooneys. He's up there, okay? He wants to be like them. That's what he wants to be like. You remember how, what's my man name? Panda, whoever that dude is from Jersey, sounded like Future. John Mara want to sound like the Rooney family. When you think of the Giants, he wants you to think of stability, like the Rooney family. He wants to be like the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? John Mara doesn't want the reputation of firing people every couple years. So he decides to keep Schoen and Daboll. And my thoughts about him keeping Schoen and Daboll is just good. You know, I don't forget. I've been covering the Giants long enough to have my receipts. And all of you people wanted Schoen and Daboll. When I wanted the guy, what's his name? Jason Peters or whatever, who's running the Commanders, the guy from San Francisco, I wanted him. And I wanted him to hire Brian Flores because that was what he was going to do if he came to the Giants. And we allegedly was going to try and get Deshaun Watson. Now, granted, we didn't know Deshaun was going to turn into a pumpkin 3 years ago. We didn't know this. But at the time, the guy from San Francisco wanted to bring in Brian Flores and he wanted to bring in Deshaun Watson. And all you Giants fans, you white boys, I'm just going to call it what it is, all you white people did not want the black quarterback and the black head coach. It was really, really racial what was going on a couple years ago. Y'all wanted the little white boy with the analytics. You wanted the fat white guy who was calling plays for Brian Daboll. And this is what you got. So don't turn around 3 years later after running Gettleman, who's a better GM than Joe Schoen, after running Gettleman out of town and slurping Joe Schoen. Don't run him out of town 3 years later because y'all told me 3 years ago that he was the future. This is the Giants fans' pick. John Mara is a sucker for the fans. He is. John Mara cannot stand bad publicity. The only reason why Schoen and Daboll are here is because Giants fans and Giants media wanted to be Buffalo Light. That's why they're here. So 3 years later, when the owner even openly admitted that the team is worse now than it was when he took the job, don't bitch because he kept them employed. You made your bed, now sleep in it. Now, I got my petty shit out the way. My thoughts on Schoen and Daboll are simple. Daboll deserves a quarterback. He does. He deserves a quarterback. And I actually like what Schoen has done with the roster. Just my 2 cents. Like, I like Brian Burns. Kayvon is a tad overrated, but I was excited when he made the pick. Evan Neal was the best tackle on the planet coming out of Alabama. We was happy when he made the pick. Did he pan out? No, but at the time it makes sense. Wandale is not a bust. He just needs I don't know how you catch 90 balls for 600 yards. Like, that don't compute. Like, that's some Scott Steiner math right there, but he's not a bum. You can't be a bum and catch 90-something balls. So that's not bad. Tracy, Neighbors, he fixed the offensive line. Joe Schoen didn't. The offensive line was a shambles for a decade. He fixed the offensive line. He replaced Odell Beckham. He replaced Saquon Barkley. Now let him replace Daniel Jones. He deserves the right to be able to do that. Okay? As far as Brian Daboll goes, I mean, when it's all said and done when it comes to Brian Daboll, nobody wanted him fired. Like, they hated Joe Judge, okay? When we fired Joe Judge, there was reports coming out every other day about how much the players couldn't stand Joe Judge, how much the people in the building couldn't stand Joe Judge. He was an asshole. He cursed people out. He was a dictator. They hated Joe Judge. McAdoo, and his stupid haircut and his stupid sunglasses, was suspending players for no reason. Giants players is getting suspended and fined every other day before we fired McAdoo and his stupid haircut, okay? Joe Schoen, on the other hand, and Brian Daboll, on the other hand, have a team that plays hard for them. Brian Daboll caped for his players. And guess what his players did in return for him? They play hard. Only player Daboll ever threw under the bus was Daniel Jones. Outside of Daniel Jones, Daboll never blames the players for shit to the media. And they respect him for that. Brian Daboll doesn't have hard practices. He doesn't have hard training camp. He doesn't curse you out like Joe Judge did. The players enjoy playing for Daboll. So Daboll's always going to get the best out of the players because they enjoy playing for him. Okay? That something has to be said for that. Now, I can't speak for the coaches. Allegedly, Brian Daboll, he's an asshole towards his assistant coaches. He rides his assistant coaches, but so did Brian Flores. So did Matt Patricia. That's a Belichick thing. You know what I'm saying? All the Belichick, like, that's a Belichick thing. You coach the coaches. All the Belichick coaches do that shit. Vrabel. So, I said all that to say this. I actually think they deserve a 4th year. We got cap space. We got the 3rd pick in the draft. We have an offensive mind that can develop the rookie quarterback. We have a general manager whose program is finally starting to set in, which is why his 3rd draft class was his best draft class. Give these guys a chance to do it right. You feel me? Finish what you start. Let Schoen, let Daboll, let them finish building their program. That's all I'm saying. So I actually agree with John Mara's decision. I don't agree with how he spoke about the decision, but I agree with the decision. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, drop FUs in the comments if you rockin' with me, and stay vicious. Dismiss.